I was going to ask one question, but I'm in a state of trance over his jewels. I have never seen so many material things on someone, and I've read a little bit about you, and I've heard that you believe in money now. And is this the Christian way of thinking?
I don't think it's a traditional Christian way of thinking. You know, the Apostle Paul said that the love of money is the root of all evil. However, I have discovered that it is the lack of money that is the root of all evil.
But is that Christian feelings and thinkings? I mean, in the Bible it does say that the love of money is the root of all evil.
That is true. Perhaps in Paul's day it was, but now, today, it's the lack of money that is the root of all evil. And I've seen more people suffer from the lack of money than from having money. But I think that there's a balance that one can achieve. One should have money, but not let money have him. As long as you can have money and use money, and not let money use you and you serve money, it's fine, but no one should become the servant of money.
Well, I've noticed, I looked throughout the audience and I noticed there isn't a single black person here. And do you usually speak to white people? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you. But
She's very tan.
I was, no, I was curious because, you know, your audience is basically white people. Are you talking to your people to feel this way?
They vary. The racial breakdown of my audiences vary from place to place. Of course, my philosophy is not a racial one at all. I don't believe that white people need one thing and black people need another. In the American economy, the only color of power is green. That's why I have never represented black power, only green power.
Oh, well.
Everybody needs that, and if everybody can get some more green power, there'll be even more peace and love between the races.
Love to hear how you do it.
Is it your view that the traditional way of, well, let's take traditional fundamentalist Christianity makes it more difficult to acquire money?
Yes, because fundamentalist religion gives people a guilt complex about money and even about success. And many times I find the attitude that people who have worked diligently and who become successful, society sometimes seems to think that these people should apologize for their success. I remember I was sitting in the back of one of the church's Rolls Royces in New York, and a young black man came over to me and said, "Are you Reverend Ike?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Well, Reverend, why are you riding in a car like this? This car costs at least $30,000. Of course, he was about $20,000 off, under, you know. And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, aren't you supposed to be helping the poor?" I said, "Would it help the poor any if I got out of a Rolls Royce and rode a bicycle?" But you see, I don't apologize for success, and I teach that everyone should be successful. After all, the Bible does say, "Seek you first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all of these things shall be added unto you." But we should not serve these things should serve us, and as long as we keep that balance, why, money and riches are fine.
God is up there somewhere with keeping notes on all of us.
Now, I don't believe that there's somebody sitting in the sky with his feet propped up on top of the world called God. I believe that God is the presence of good that is within each individual person, whether he knows it or not. And this is where my ministry comes in. It is my ministry to make the individual aware that the presence of God, the presence of all good, the potential of good is within each individual and not in the sky somewhere.
But traditionally, especially in the Deep South, it began and of course has spread to the urban centers of the North, certainly in the last several years. The notion that this doom and gloom the spell under which we all are functioning will someday end, and Jesus will take us into his great paradise that he has prepared for us. So cope now, because there is a great reward later.
I usually say, when you find the heaven that is within you, then you will find yourself in heaven. Not until then, because heaven and hell are both states of mind. When a person is in a very doubtful and negative state of mind, he's always going to catch hell. He's going to experience hell. But when the individual finds the heaven, the harmony, the God, the good, the love that is resident in his own being, then he begins to experience heaven.
So when